pop, pop, and then Lance says, gun, gun, and it's all going down at the same time. Car chase, I'm on sidewalks, I'm going down one ways. I was able to basically escape this guy and his goons.
The latest lawsuit to come against Sean Diddy Combs is the first since his federal arrest that doesn't involve sexual assault. However, the details of the incident follow the pattern of the previous reports of Combs' alleged violent nature. DeWitt Gilmore, who prefers to be known as an author and public figure, has made headlines with his allegations against Diddy. Nearly 30 years after an alleged pursuit through New York City streets, Diddy now faces fresh legal action accusing him of orchestrating a dangerous car chase aimed at confronting a man with his crew.
What was your relationship back then with Puff Daddy back then? What was the relationship?
Well, Andre Harrell introduced me to him. Andre was an entertainer. Andre was a rapper. And I hired Andre on numerous occasions. And we were at a bar at a friend's nightclub, and Puffy comes up, and Andre says, hey, this is Puffy, my intern. And we have a lot of mutual friends. He's from Mount Vernon, I'm from Mount Vernon. And so we struck up some deals to do some parties, and specifically a basketball game, which everybody heard about, known as CCNY. Fortunately for me, he took that idea and went off on his own and did it. And we all know what happened, because that's become part of his history, where people were stampeded and so on and so forth. So yeah, that was our relationship. You know, it was parties, and he was trying to come into my parties, my events in Westchester, my nightclub events. And so yeah, that was.
In the legal filing, Gilmore claims that on a summer night in 1996, he was about to get in his car outside a nightclub when Diddy and a group of his associates pulled up and started provoking him. The complaint states that the situation quickly escalated when some of the group allegedly drew guns, leading to shots being fired.
The next thing I hear is pop, pop, and then Lance says, gun, gun, and it's all going down at the same time.
Gilmore told in an interview he had worn a t-shirt promoting the forthcoming Death Row East record label in an effort to bring unity amidst the coast-to-coast rivalry with Bad Boy Entertainment. The suit says Combs then initiated a verbal confrontation with Gilmore, shouting,
he goes, what's up? And so really quickly I say, Puff, like, keep your drama to yourself. I don't want nothing to do with whatever you got going on, man. We know your trouble, whatever.
The encounter then escalated as additional vehicles with more of Combs' associates surrounded Gilmore and his car, per the lawsuit. Gilmore was allegedly fearing for his life.
His bodyguard pulls his sports car and runs me off the road. So now I'm on an island, the trooper, and we get out of the vehicle. Lance gets out of the vehicle, but that's the moment we realized he was not alone. It was not just Puffy and bodyguard. There were 4 other cars. They were loaded with guys. The next thing I hear is pop, pop, and then Lance says, gun, gun, and it's all going down at the same time. And for the life of me, how I got teleported out of that situation, I don't know. But I jump back in my truck. Lance jumps back in the truck. I jump over the island. Now it's a hasty car chase. I'm on sidewalks. I'm going down one ways. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. There's not a lot of traffic, but the traffic that was there, I was able to basically escape this guy and his goons.
Despite the incident happening decades ago, Gilmore only recently felt safe enough to come forward. He explained that he managed to connect with a witness from that night, who provided new evidence crucial to reopening the case beyond the statute of limitations. Gilmore mentioned intimidation by Diddy's influence and finances, which kept him from seeking legal action earlier. He expressed fear for his safety, stating,
and as of recent, a few months ago, I'm in touch with, there were 2 people with me in the truck, by the way, and I have not had contact with them. But recently I was in touch with Lance Calfé. Lance Calfé was my security in the truck at the time. And so we've all been intimidated, quite frankly, by Puffy and his money, you know, and his name changes and all of his goons and security and his fan base. And so 2 things. Number 1, I got back in touch with Lance, he gave full testimony to the event that night. He's never given full testimony. Number two, as I said, not just me, but many people have been intimidated by this guy's power and influence and his money, and not for nothing, but he could wipe me out in no time, with that much power. So I was afraid, to be honest with you.
The lawsuit says Gilmore had his story corroborated by witness Lance Calf, one of the men who rode in the car with him during the alleged chase. Gilmore said he finally decided to speak out now because Combs is currently incarcerated in Metropolitan Detention Center, Brooklyn, awaiting federal prosecution for crime charges. The court filings read, "This reconnection brought forth new insight and testimonial evidence surrounding the events of that night, underscoring the intensity of the encounter with Sean Combs. The witness's account serves as recently discovered evidence, significant enough to reopen the case beyond the usual statute of limitations due to the unique circumstances of intimidation and safety concerns that delayed earlier action." Gilmore is seeking $5 million in damages, citing emotional trauma, physical injuries, lost opportunities, and harm to his reputation. Diddy's representatives, however, refused to entertain these claims, labeling them as publicity stunts and expressing confidence in the judicial system. They maintain that the accusations lack substance and will be exposed in court. This lawsuit is one of many following the 55-year-old rap mogul's arrest in Manhattan by federal authorities on Monday, September 16th. His indictment was unsealed the following morning, revealing charges of racketeering conspiracy, trafficking, and engaging in interstate transportation for prostitution. The allegations against Combs include sexual abuse, physical abuse, bribery, and various drug offenses. On March 25th, coordinated raids on his homes in Los Angeles and Miami were broadcast live on CNN, while the hip-hop mogul was reportedly aboard his private jet amid what could become a very public reckoning. On September 16th, an indictment against Diddy was unsealed, charging him with 3 counts, including trafficking by force. He pleaded not guilty, but was denied bail, and is currently being held in jail awaiting trial. Alongside an investigation led by Homeland Security and federal authorities, he faces 4 federal lawsuits. A 5th, filed in late 2023 by ex-girlfriend Cassandra Cassie Ventura, which alleged rape and physical abuse, was settled and dismissed shortly after it was filed. Combs is headed to trial in May 2025. He's currently being held in Metropolitan Detention Center, Brooklyn. A day before Gilmore filed his lawsuit, Diddy's honorary key to Miami Beach, Florida, was formally rescinded. On November 2nd, Miami Beach Mayor Stephen Minor, along with the City Commission, reached a unanimous verdict during an in-person meeting earlier this week. Commissioners Joe Magazine, David Suarez, Tanya Katzoff-Bott, and Alex Fernandez played key roles as the primary sponsors of the motion. Diddy was bestowed with the ceremonial key in 2015, a tribute to his significant impact on the city. Time will tell how this courtroom drama unfolds.